little badass, book badass. You little badass, you little badass, book club badass. Welcome to the show.
Woo!
It's been so long.
It's been so long. Welcome back, baddies. Here we are at the Bad Ass Bookclub Podcast with your hosts,
Ashley.
and I'm Katie, and I have been gone in the land of fantasy. I don't know about you.
Some would say I'm going like this because I was going to say welcome back to Bab's Place.
All right.
So if you're if you're listening and not watching, just know I had my hand in an awkward position.
It's great. I love when she does that.
Mhm.
And you know what that makes me think of?
What?
Our classic saying, we're here.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. And you are too. So we can't wait to share today's episode with you. We have so much to talk about.
Yeah, we haven't podcasted for nearly 2 weeks.
It was so weird.
We've finished a monumental book,
Oh, yeah.
I would say, in Bab's history. And we've also wrapped up another, so
Yeah.
there's plenty to talk about.
So much to talk about. And I want everyone to know that we deprived ourselves of each other for a good long while. Like, we were just playing with some words between text messages.
I would start something and then be like, wait, I'm saving it. I'm saving it for the pod.
Yeah. And I would say, and that's about it. And you were very respectful. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
It was so hard.
And Katie, I think we'll talk about it because I have a feeling she's going to surprise us with something crazy. But
So
she went
much.
to something called FanCon.
In Denver, Colorado. It's a version of Comic-Con, and it was incredible. And that's why I am wearing my Star Wars jersey today in honor of the world that is make-believe.
Oh,
Some
what?
might say it's
That's
not make-believe.
appropriate.
Yeah,
That is
thank you.
appropriate.
Thank you.
My shirt says Tired Mom's Book Club,
Love
and
it.
that's because I'm tired. It also says running on coffee, chaos, and chapters.
What?
That's kind of cool.
Like, how do you even have time to read or listen to read?
I was going to say, I actually didn't, so I listened a lot.
You know what? Okay, this week, let's drop some new merch. I'm pretty excited.
Woo.
There are 3 shirt designs, and maybe we'll get some other things out of it. But we have our hardcover lover,
Beautiful.
I'm a softie,
Yes.
and read to me for those audio files.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling all of that these days too.
I will say, after listening, I listened to Chelsea Devantez, and you, I think, read most.
Yeah,
With your eyes?
I read her with my eyes.
Yeah. So I listened, and it was her voice, and we'll talk about that
That's
some
dope.
more.
Yeah.
But then I obviously listened to our other book that we'll talk about, and I have a library book for my next pick. I'm kind of excited to get some visual reading
Cool,
done. I
cool.
feel like it is a different experience.
It is
not better,
100%
not worse, but
a different experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends on who you are. I think it depends
True.
on your attention span, which can fluctuate at any given time in someone's life. And I think also it can either enhance the experience if someone imagines a character a certain way and delivers that character a certain way, or provides a voice, or especially with those graphic audios with the
Mhm.
sound effects, that can elevate it in a different way. And like you said, we'll talk about that this episode. And sometimes you might have your own specific thought in your mind that can just trump everything, you know?
You're leading on to some of my thoughts that I will share when we get to our second book. But yes,
Son of a
precisely,
gun.
completely understand what you're
Oh,
saying.
And all of you baddies out there, please, 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 tune in, listen in, and give us your thoughts too, because this is the community. And that's one of the cool things that I will also talk about in today's episode is the amazing book community that exists at a Comic-Con or a FanCon for the fantasy authors and readers. It's really dope.
I have a question, and I guess we can just talk about it now
Yeah,
if you
okay.
don't mind.
Jump
I
in.
saw a photo of you at the Jurassic Park booth at FanCon. Were there books around, or was it just
Okay.
movie centric?
Okay, so I'll post and share with all of our baddies this week.
Yes.
That was actually a really cool section where there are different fan groups of specific things like
Okay.
the Jurassic Park, Jurassic Worlds, that feeling. And then I was also in a goose. Oh my goodness, a Ghostbusters area, and those
cool.
were all fan booths, basically. So there was a
Interesting.
section where like different clubs can basically get space at a convention because
Okay.
it's at the convention center, basically.
Mhm.
And they bring, you know, what they love about it. And so when I was walking through, and I think you could see it in the picture, but specifically like in Denver, Colorado, there's a Jurassic Park fan group. And so like that's that was like a display that they put on.
Oh, cool.
So like somebody has that truck, that Jurassic Park truck that they have like made, and then they put all this cool shit around it, Jurassic Park stuff. Like my favorite part was the little dinosaurs that are talked about in the book and make an appearance in like either Jurassic Park 2 or 3.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Were on top of the truck,
Oh,
like
how
eating little
cool.
body parts.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then they had somebody has their own OG. So it's not like straight from the movie set, if that makes sense.
It does.
But it's a fan's OG Jurassic Park Ford Explorer mobile
Oh my gosh.
that they have made themselves.
Okay, well that's dedication. I'm glad they have a
Yes.
passion.
And then the same thing with the Ghostbusters. They had a photo backdrop of from the what was it, the first Ghostbuster? I'm trying. Yeah. And these fans have their own proton packs that they made. And I just walked by and I was like, that is so badass. That is so cool. And they were like, do you want to take a picture with a proton pack? And I was like,
Do I ever?
did you just say my wildest dreams coming true? Yes,
Okay,
please.
well I don't remember seeing that one, so do share with the audience
I
and the
definitely,
community.
I definitely will. So that's, I think, what was so cool for me is seeing like how that part of the community like is also part of it. Like people can go and they can dress up, but I didn't know that within the convention there were also, you know, booths from fans, hardcore fans.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was really dope. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then there were lots of R2D2s like rolling about.
Okay.
And then there was a guy who came to FanCon and he had his own remote control robot, basically, who was a droid. He had his own droid and they were like blasting music and he was like going through and like dancing with people. So obviously I'm geeking out hard right now.
No, I
It was my
love
first
it.
one. It was so fun.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a really fun time.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we get to live vicariously through you
Whoop, whoop.
because it was on theme. And I guess we can probably talk more about that later. if you want.
I'm sure we'll bring Jurassic
Yeah.
Park back into this world because
Every episode, always.
I cannot wait to see the new Jurassic World. But that's a whole different conversation because it has lots of mixed reviews.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I should
TBD.
share that my 3-year-old is really into Jurassic Park right now because his grandma showed him the
I'm
first one.
So proud.
And you know, don't report me, but he's into it. We skip around. We don't watch the, you know, cow getting lowered into the T-Rex pen or anything
As long
like
as you
that.
tell them that's where hamburgers
But
come from.
There are just so many. I do. You should see them at the grocery store. But anyway, no, there are so many iterations. Like there are animated Jurassic Park
Yeah.
worlds. There are Lego Jurassic Park TV shows. There's just like so much in the franchise, much more, I'm sure, than what I know about. But we're consuming quite a bit at my house lately.
I love this for you. I
Yeah.
love this for you.
So Jurassic Park is not going anywhere.
Michael Crichton, you amazing,
Started it
beautiful
all.
man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
And that's why we
Crichton.
love books.
Books. Exactly. Same thing with Star Wars, right?
I
Or
guess.
no, I think. Oh, no.
Is Steven
Oh,
Spielberg
no.
an author?
No. Okay, so what I should say is there's been a lot of books written from the original concept. So you're
Sure.
right. That is different in that sense.
But it's still like
Yeah.
creative and something's come of it and it all ties in.
Thanks, Ashley.
It does.
I love you.
We can talk more about that.
But back to Chelsea. Hey, Devantez.
Oh, Chelsea Devantez.
I told her I could not wait to talk about the ending or second half to your book. First initial thoughts are actually what would be your overall, like, if you were holding this, Ashley, if you were holding this book right now, I just
am
gave it to
holding
her.
the book.
I shouldn't be telling you this, but I'm going to anyway. Overall, if you had a few adjectives to describe your feelings on it, let's go.
That's a lot of pressure. I think what I will say about the book is that I'm glad I read it.
Cool.
I'm glad she wrote it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. I think my first initial thoughts were everyone should read this, and you're going to get so much out of it. And it came to me later after our talk, and as I finished it up,
Yeah.
I got a lot out of it. I'm the same age. I have trauma. I like to handle things by, making jokes, which is not always the healthiest. So for me specifically, personally, I really got a kick out of it.
Rock and roll.
There's a lot here. There is just a lot of emotion. And there's a lot of really sad, dark stuff. And even though she's able to give it to us in kind of a fun way.
Thanks, Chelsea.
Just the whole having to redact so much. I'm really glad that she did still go forward with publishing.
Ditto.
And as we learned in, I think, the acknowledgments, her husband, or I don't know, fiance at the time, but husband really pushed her to be like, just black it out. Just send it out there, and I would love to know more about the real story. And I don't think that's the point necessarily. Right. She mentions that she kind of was under the impression that just sharing your story is enough to get the healing done. But she really came to the conclusion that having an audience to witness that share is really where the healing starts, at least for her.
Right.
So, I'm glad we could be a part of that. But as far as it goes, I thought it was funny, and I thought it was kind of intense in a different way.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so my quick takes on it. Brave in her desire, and I think how forthcoming she was.
Mm-hmm.
She gives a lot of her truths. Some of my favorite parts were actually the acknowledgments and the wrap up in the last 2 chapters. One of them finding out more about your mom, and even how she titled that. And I also think through the acknowledgments, you get to know about other people whose chapters could have been written. And it just is a good reminder that if you are someone who catches this podcast or hears about this book and you want to jump in and you start kind of going, whoa, this might be too much for me, or this isn't enough, or you start to give judgment. And I think that's what's challenging for people who review books, who and in a podcast especially, or if you're in a book club, you're supposed to have an opinion, right? And so it's this idea of the difference between an opinion and are you judging?
Right.
Because the reminder is this is someone's life, and it's only a few pages. I mean, truly a few pages at a certain time in someone's life. And we're these malleable beings, right? We should be able to grow and change. And even in her acknowledgments and towards the end of the book, she talks about how she relied on diaries that she wrote through her experiences to actually remember some of the things and have those feelings be present within. So, I really want to be very straightforward in saying I'm trying not to have judgment on this book because it is someone's life, and a memoir is like that. But it is totally valid for us to share our opinion and our feelings. And throughout this book, sometimes I had those feelings. And sometimes I didn't like her. I didn't like who she was in certain moments. However, I also hope that, I had the compassion through those moments to go, well, yeah, of course, she experienced this that led to that. And you have to have this certain, I think, or what would help someone is to have a reminder to reflect on your own journey. You know what I mean? Because if you were to be reading your own memoir through certain times, you'd probably feel the same exact way about yourself. I bet a lot of people didn't like me when I was that way or when I had that opinion.
Yeah.
So, definitely brave. I think that the chapters that were selected, most of them were very purposeful in tying together some of her points, I think, that she was trying to express. But I think it goes back to what you were saying, where it's she's not looking, I don't feel like she was looking for sympathy. She wasn't, she doesn't want you to feel sorry for her. It was more of just, this is what I went through. This is part of my healing. And maybe if there are any of you out there who've had physical abuse, trauma, childhood where you move a lot, parents who are undependable, maybe abusive, and poor relationships with others, those points might resonate with you.
Yeah.
And in order for that to resonate with you, you have to have experienced that.
Yeah.
Now, there are some people who could read this and go, wow, what a testament to this person. You know, I didn't experience half of the things that she experienced. I have had different experiences in my life, but I was still able to read it and go, what incredible things for her to have overcome or even endured. And some of it, it's not even about overcoming. It's just enduring until and not giving up to get what she wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's a lot. I think there's so much more to you, Chelsea, and I'm pointing out and I'm speaking out. I believe there's so much more to you, Chelsea, that is not in these pages that define who you are and are also reflections of what you've gained from what you shared with us. And, you know, that would be for personal relationships that you have with others.
Yeah.
Also, you married a dude. So, hey.
There's that.
But I still think you were in love with her. So.
I think that their wedding sounded, no, that was great. I think that their wedding sounded really cool. Just like as a little side note, that whole day that she wrote about, I thought that sounded really cool. I found myself, especially in the first half, kind of doing not like the judgy thing, but sort of just like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know?
I do.
Like the way that some things are worded, where the jokes are placed, just different little things. Like I don't have a specific, but it was a lot there. And you know, again, that's kind of like I can reflect on myself and be like, okay, I think someone's too much. That's probably saying more about me than it is about that person. I'm reading her book. She's allowed to be as much as she wants all the time, anytime, period.
Right.
But if I take a step back and I think about like my purpose and intent for reading someone's memoir, I had to remind myself, it's a story in its own right. And it's a story of how someone is becoming or has become who they are and the trials and tribulations that they've been through. Yep. And if I'm taking a step back and reading this as a story, I thought it was pretty beautiful. Again, I'm sure she wants us all to have known what she originally wrote. And I might go on the internet and read more about it just out of curiosity.
Right.
But then it's kind of like, you know, that whole staring at a car crash situation. Like, do I really need to do that? I think we get the gist, you know?
Yeah.
But I would be interested just because I'm that kind of person. But overall, I'm glad that we read it. And
you know what I caught myself doing, actually? After the last chapter, I went back to the first chapter.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
I recommend it to everybody who catches this book because it helps put in the blank spaces a little bit more, fill it in.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to last 2 weeks' episode, I kind of mentioned how it jumps all over the place.
Right.
I do think her editor did a good job of helping have these points made.
Mm-hmm.
But in jumping around, you kind of some parts become a little bit confusing.
Sure.
Because and just to clarify for everybody who's watching or listening, the book is not chronological.
No.
Okay? And so it really is beneficial that after you do the last chapter where she talks about the big thing again, Earl, I was like, okay, you're talking about it again, but I've been reading your book for a while now. Where was this? And it's in the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And she says it's like almost so much at the beginning where she's like, we'll get back to it later. Well, she doesn't get back to it till the very end.
Right.
So it's bookends of a book. And they really kind of help each other to create this message, you know? So yeah, I recommend that. And things also start to make a lot more sense too when she has the strength to talk about her mom.
Yeah, that chapter made me teary listening to it because it's in her own voice.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like she was probably a little emotional. I mean, obviously recording as well. But yeah, I like that chapter. And it just reminds me too, I kind of like the whole idea, that whole choice to have these chapters based on, for the most part, women or, you know, along those lines. Yeah. Relationships.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting if we weren't going to do it chronologically.
Yeah.
To pick a person or a group of people or whatever and then kind of build on, you know, just add the bricks to that situation.
Because a lot of life are the relationships you have with others, right?
And I think we talked about it before, especially with her, it seems like somebody who really kind of had just not really a lot to, I mean, she found ways to depend on people, maybe in a less healthy way. I'm not a therapist, but I thought it was an interesting choice that her memoir is structured based on relationships with other people.
Right.
You know, it's still just not all about her.
Right.
But like you're saying, I mean, our life is not all about us. I guess it is about relationships.
Well, this is why I love talking with you, Ashley. And okay, I have to remember that point. But you said it so wonderfully in that you said it so wonderfully.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't repeat myself if I tried.
I'll listen back. No, I see this. I mean, anybody who has a brain that works all the time in circles, you may or may not follow me, which is wonderful. I got sidetracked in my own thinking because I said Ashley's name, which made me remember that there's a specific part in her book where Chelsea Devantez herself says everybody needs an Ashley, and I wanted to bring that up.
Oh, she also mentioned Ashley being like the smartest person she's ever met, which, you know.
And I think she actually wrote on the back of the book too as one of her her feelings on the book, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Well, they sound very close.
She has amazing credits, and she's the one who taught her boundaries. But
yeah, that was cool.
That's probably what I was about to talk about. You know, there were moments, yes, this is it. Sorry, see, I got distracted by Ashleyism. She's amazing. Everybody does need an Ashley, though. So if you don't have one, go find one.
There are so many, you guys. You can find a few.
Yeah. I suggest this one, but she's off limits now. Boundaries. There were moments where I didn't like her.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are plenty of moments where people haven't liked me.
Yeah.
And you want her to learn certain things. Like, you're kind of like, you're using people. And here's the thing. Like, some people might not have a problem with some of her traits or characteristics. I didn't vibe with all of them. But some of the last chapters, it starts to make sense. And she does take some ownership. So even like when it might have even been in the acknowledgments. Like, there were some guys where she was like, hey, if you weren't mentioned in this book, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You know, but she also mentions how like she knows that she wasn't the best girlfriend at times to other people.
She does mention that.
So, and I think that, you know, the later chapters really help you to digest the Chelsea you get to know in the beginning chapters because, you know, if someone just has an arrogance about them, even if it's hidden or shrouded with comedy, that person might become annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the arrogance kind of dissipates because she tells some pretty deep truths about herself. She becomes more vulnerable. And then she also shares some of the lessons that she learns through her relationships with others. For instance, Ashley, like, you know, her relationships with women towards the beginning of the book are very codependent, to where I felt she had established a deeper love for them and intimacy. But then you also see this dysfunction with her mother and other women figures.
Right.
And perhaps part of it is even her searching for that same companionship that her mother had.
Right.
And nobody living up to that.
Right.
No fault to themselves.
Right.
And she gets, you know, through life and her experiences, you would not like, I mean, I would not like her or being around her if she didn't learn that, but she does.
Yeah.
You know, and it's those moments where you see her grow, where you're like, wow, okay, this was an important part. So back to the editor, good job. However, you do kind of get these feelings. I mean, let me rephrase that. I should be more individual with this. I got these feelings where it was like, wow, her mother was dysfunctional. Like, no wonder you struggled with so many things, Chelsea. And no fault to your mom because, like, I know she's her own person and I don't want, you know, I don't want to cast judgment. For me, I just don't think that she was being a very good mother.
Right.
You know, or healthy. It wasn't a healthy situation. But then at the end, you give that chapter where you're like, your mom's this incredible person. And had we known that at the beginning, my perspective of how your mom was dealing with life or the choices she was making, you know, would be more understandable. And I wouldn't have felt that way about her mom. Does that make sense?
It does. And it's interesting you say that because whether it was intentional or not, she kind of describes that herself and her relationship with her mom. The fight she would get in, she would say, no, I don't remember any good times from our childhood. As she grew, as she had therapy, as she had life experience and more healthy relationships with women, she reflects on where her mom came from and what her mom's story is. And then I'm sure she was always grateful here and there, but she just kind of comes around herself.
Right.
So that's interesting. I don't know if that was intentional, though, with how she laid it out for us. It's funny because you go and again, I go. I go and I'm reading and I'm kind of like, oh, there's an ick, whatever. But again, it's someone's life story.
Right.
And then you also come across these little breadcrumbs of self-awareness.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've read a few memoirs. I feel like this is probably the one, without knowing any of these people personally, where we get like the truest voice. It's very clear. At least it seems pretty clear.
Oh, yeah. And I think part of that is the blacking out and the comedy that she adds to it.
Yeah.
But back to what you're saying, not everyone's flavor. However, an incredible reflection at someone's life at an earlier point in time.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting too. I mean, she obviously had a very eventful, she kept the diaries, which I always think about, like if I was to write a memoir or a story or something, autofiction, my new favorite genre. Thank you, Brett Ellis. I think I would have needed to start journaling a lot earlier in life. And I think that it's interesting. I feel like that's a pretty common thing for people who write about themselves. They do have an account, at least of how they felt in the time. So I was glad she shared that with us. I also want to say, too, in the audiobook, I think it was an audiobook exclusive, she includes a bonus chapter of one of the chapters that got cut, and it was about her mother-in-law. So you didn't get that, did you? Like she mentions in the acknowledgments.
That's all you get. But it sounds like
so it was cute.
I'm also happy for you, Chelsea Devantez. One, dope last name. Let's just get it over with.
And thank you for sharing. I was curious about the story behind that, so that was cool.
Yep, definitely that. And then also, congratulations on meeting the love of your life. A lot of people don't do that, or they're still in search of it. And, you kissed a lot of frogs and you found your prince, but, lightning struck for you for sure. And it seems amazing.
Yeah.
So happy for you on your journey and congratulations. He seems dope.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Shall we move on?
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know.
Yeah. No, thanks, Chelsea. Thanks for writing your book. We'll just put it on the bookshelf.
Yeah. All right, here it goes. Moving on, you guys. In case you don't know, something monumental is going on. And the reason I say that is because go on.
Your girl. Sure, I'm a fan. Of the Empyrean series. And we've talked so much about Rebecca. But I've never read Twilight. I've never read Harry Potter.
Okay, whoa, no, I'm sorry. Like record. You never read Twilight?
No.
Okay, the biggest eye roll ever. Okay, well, I have. So half of you can hate her and love me, and half of you can hate me and love her.
Maybe at some point I will.
I mean,
because it's never too late. What I'm trying to get at, people, is the fantasy genre is taking over Bab's place.
What? Romantasy's for everyone. You get one. You get one. You get one.
And I don't even know how many there are. So everyone probably gets one. Katie, do you want to tell them what we read?
Yes, I do. From Empyrean to Akatar, baby. From the lands of dragons to the Frey, the fairies? Yeah, the Fae.
The Fae.
Which, okay.
So we're new. Okay, so give us a break.
Well, I mean, kind of.
Okay, I'm new.
As I mentioned, this band. But, I think it's because her name,
Feyre.
Feyre. I kept thinking Farah. Because like Farrah Fawcett, and sometimes like how I was listening to the graphic audio. No, you're right. It's Feyre.
Well, according to my audiobook, it's Feyre, but it kind of should be Farrah because Feyre is too like, okay, obviously, spoiler alert. Obviously, you're going to become Fae.
I mean,
with a name like that.
I mean, come on. Okay, we have so much to talk about because when we said we were going into this world, some of you were like, woohoo. Some of you were like, you're not here yet. I have to say, I don't know if I'm glad that we started with Empyrean. Because I'm just going to, you know what? I'm going to say it.
As she drinks from her dragon mug, in case you're not watching.
I miss it so much. Rebecca Yarros. Rebecca.
Don't worry, because we'll always have something to look forward to.
Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of ACOTAR fans are Empyrean fans. It just tracks. It makes sense. The worlds are magical. They're layered. They're loving, sexy, fantasy. It's fun. But the dragon world is so much more exciting.
Oh, hands down.
Hands
I
down.
have a favorite. Granted, we're only one book in, but I have a clear favorite.
And I think it's much more challenging. So if you have read neither, honestly, don't start with Empyrean. Because it makes ACOTAR hard to get into.
Okay, I would agree with that. However, if I didn't read Empyrean, I don't know if I would have gone personally into this whole mystery land.
Okay, there it is.
To begin with.
So thank you, Rebecca Yaros, and thank you, Sarah J. Maas, because the first story that we got into is called A Court of Thorns and Roses. And this is not a trilogy. It's a series, and it has 5 books, and it's written by author Sarah J. Maas. It's Court of Thorns and Roses. So anywho, yeah, I'm glad that somebody warned me. So I want to warn all of you.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
I was warned. It's very challenging to get into.
Yeah.
It's let me rephrase that. It's slow to go. It's very slow to go. We were driving to Colorado. We had like a 14-hour drive. And the first 10 hours of this book, okay, and granted, I listened to it with my spouse, but they were not hot and very rough. And Casey just kept saying, I swear, if they say human or fairy one more time, like to the point where the characters, if you binge it like that, like nonstop, it's redundant. And I'm going to say it was annoying, guys. However, we were stopped. Like we actually made it to the cabin because we started listening to like music or something else. And we still had about 3 hours left to go. So we had a week before we finished it. And I was just, I spoke with other bookies out there. I hope you're listening, by the way, bookies. I spoke with other bookies out there, and they were like, circle back when you're done with the ending, because the ending makes it worthwhile. And then they even went further to say that the second one is way spicier. So like through the first one, not only was Casey continually saying human, fairy, and then like it was pretty annoying, to be honest. But I get it. And if you're listening to this, babe, I love you so much and I understand. But it was even a struggle for me to not, I was like, we can't stop it because Ashley read it and like we're doing it for the pod and like, but it was not my vibe. It was like boring.
No, I totally, full disclosure, when Katie was like, hey, how about we do this? And I kind of was like, oh, I really don't want to, but I was thinking not too authentically, because I know that it's super, super popular on TikTok. And I know Book Talk was all about it. And I know that people were like, the first book, sorry, Sarah, the first book, it's just not it. But if you can get through the first book, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Well, let's just say we finish it. And then Casey wanted to start the second one immediately. And I was like, no, because we have to talk about the first one. So way to go, podcast, and you little baddies, because you have at least stopped or postponed the binging until after this episode, because it did. It was a payoff. It was a pretty good payoff, I should say.
Yeah, no, once we got under the mountain, I was like, okay, yes, thank you. And don't get me wrong, I was hesitant. I'm in now. I'm in. Like, now I need to know.
Your girl's in.
Yeah. I'm totally in. I mean, am I 5 books in? We will take it personally, one book at a time.
Well, the good news is I hear 2 and 5 are the best.
Oh, that's good.
Because that means you have to keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And so for our non-ACOTAR readers, maybe just like a quick synopsis or, without too many spoilers in this moment, what is it generally about, Ashley?
Okay, so in this world, there are mortal humans. There is a wall, a border wall, and there are fairies.
Yeah.
Fae. There's also classes of the fairies. There's evil. I mean, they're all allegedly kind of shady because the humans and the fairies got in a war way back when. So humans, whether it's true or not, at least where Feyre comes from, look at the fairies and are like, oh no, scary, schemy, stay away from them. They've killed humans in the past. They kept them as slaves.
It's not like Tinkerbell fairies, guys.
No.
It's like jagged, sharp teeth and different types of fairies.
Yeah, there's all kinds of different creatures, really, but they're all considered like they're
which is dope.
The fairy race instead of the human race, you know?
Yeah.
So there's all these different types. Some are more evil than others. But then there's also like political differences with the fairies. Like some that we learn about are actually kind of like pro-human, or at least not like slaughter and enslave them.
And enslave,
Yeah. So there's a whole history of war between the two beings. And we have Feyre, who finds herself locked in a sort of contract, if you will. And she's taken to the land of the fairies, and he happens to be one of the good guys.
Yeah.
And the most part.
And then the rest of the books are the different courts of the fairy world that you apparently
Get to visit
and have experiences with, learn more about. And then, of course, there's this huge distribution of magic and, still that war concept going on throughout the books.
Okay.
So I think that's a good general synopsis.
Okay.
Now we're gonna give some spoilers and let's get into it. Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, a tale as old as time.
Like seriously, that was the like Casey and I were just, and maybe that I hear. Okay, settle down, Katie. I love Beauty and the Beast.
Sure,
I love it. If you love Beauty and the Beast and you start reading this book, the first 10 hours, you're going, okay, predictable. It's Beauty and the Beast, but the land of the fairies.
Yeah, and we got it in Beauty and the Beast, full story, like 2 hours.
Like even and singing and candlesticks.
And the description of the beast.
I mean, it seemed, I'm going to say it, Sarah, you straight up ripped off Beauty and the Beast.
It was a modern take. Maybe fan fiction. Who knows? Maybe we should read about that.
So maybe you should just enjoy that. But it was a little hard for me to enjoy that with my spouse continually saying it.
Yeah, I will say I think
Go on.
I might have enjoyed reading it like text because I listened to the audio book version, not the graphic audio version, and I wasn't digging the narrator. I wasn't digging her Feyre voice. I wasn't digging her improv for the males, or the other characters in general. It really kind of took me just being like, okay, we're reading this together. Kind of like how Casey was like, I want to stop.
Okay. Honestly, if y'all are going to get into this, get into it with graphic audio.
And I'm planning to on book 2.
Yeah, it's technically considered an adaptation because some of the description, instead of having to describe it, it's more movie-like where you have sound effects or you have the different voices making, their presence known in different areas of, the audio field.
Sure.
Okay. So dope.
Yeah.
In fact, so good that later Casey and I listened to a different book on tape that's fantasy, and she just couldn't. She just kept falling asleep, which is fine.
Okay.
But the graphic audio is great. The other thing that I heard about the graphic audio version is that because the first one's so slow, it's okay to cut out some of the redundancy, I suppose.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the voices were great. You had male voices. The dude Tamlin, his voice is pretty sexy and it matched it pretty well.
Okay, yeah, I was not digging Tamlin in the audiobook version.
So graphic audio it up. That's my best recommendation to you guys if you're not going to read it.
Yeah, and I've already purchased part 1 of graphic audio for Mist and Fury.
Okay, cool.
And, who knows? Maybe for the third book, if we get there, I might just read it in text and give them all a try. Who knows?
Okay, I have to tell you, can we talk gripes? I want to talk gripes.
Oh, please.
I mean, I've kind of already started my gripes, and you guys are probably like, if you're a diehard ACOTAR, you're either doing one of two things. Oh, just wait. Or you're going, this girl quit like, how dare she? But I'm doing it because at the beginning of this podcast, we agreed to be honest.
Yeah, okay. Give it to
ready?
us. Yeah.
Too much like Beauty and the Beast, which made it predictable for the beginning.
Okay.
I did think it was redundant with how many times she complained about being like, I'm a human and I'm weak. And, that I'm going back to why it was difficult after reading Empyrean, because for me.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
yes,
yeah,
but
no.
yes.
I mean, we're having a conversation, even though I'm like making a list. Vi is a badass.
Yeah.
And she has moments of weakness, but it's like, I'm sorry, y'all, but Feyre, maybe it's my R's, I don't know. Feyre was so weak. Like, she talks about being strong. There are some events where it's like, there's your strength, but it's like, someone who's strong doesn't have to keep talking about how strong they are.
Yeah, there were some parts too where we did get to learn a little bit more that there were some things they couldn't say because of the curse. Because I did find myself in some parts being like, I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm not buying it.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have a specific, I'm sorry. But there were definitely some parts where I'm like, oh, well, why didn't you just do this? It felt like plot holes.
It almost seemed like anti-character because she comes in so strong at the beginning.
Right.
In the scene, and we all know what the scene is if you've gotten this far, where she kills the other fairy who's a wolf.
Mm-hmm.
She's out providing for her family.
Mm-hmm.
She's this huntress, right? And even though it shows that she has some empathy, she has some feeling, she straight up she kills the wolf had killed the deer, but she, butchers the deer. She even skins the wolf.
Yeah.
And there are these moments where you're like, okay, that may or may not be a wolf, but she's doing all these badass things. She's providing for her family, which brings me to another gripe. That dad, don't like him. And the sisters sucked. The sisters were horrible. I was like, why do you have this loyalty to these pussies, these like really bad, weak characters who take you for granted?
Yeah, and she made the promise to the mom. Well, it turns out the mom, I guess, wasn't really that great either. I did appreciate how kind of the reason she ends up going back to find Tamlin is because Nessa is like, well, you should.
Right?
In a roundabout way.
Okay. And so that brings me to another gripe. And then Nesta comes back in, and I think Elena. Yeah. I'm sorry, I have a little cough. And they come back, and then Sarah makes them so much better. It's like all of a sudden this big flip, and then I do like them, and I'm like, well, maybe I was too harsh at the beginning, but then I was like, no, they sucked.
The dad sucks, definitely.
Dad sucks the whole way through.
Yeah, Elena's giving just like ignorance is bliss. I'm in my garden. Nessa, I think there is more to her. I really hated her, obviously, in the beginning portions.
Did you hear it as Nessa? Because I heard it as Nesta.
Oh, I thought it was Nessa.
Well, let me
but no, you're probably right. You're probably right.
Since we're in it now.
Yeah, you're probably right. But whatever, Nesta. I started to warm up to her a little bit more.
Nesta.
Okay.
Yeah.
I started to warm up to her a little bit more when they went back, but I don't know. I do hope that the second book just really wows us.
I think there could be some potential there actually with Nesta.
Okay.
Because it seems like, well, you know what? I stick to it. Maybe it was just a fantasy world to create probably takes a crap ton of effort and energy.
Mm-hmm.
And you really have to have your ducks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost seems like she got better at the story and writing it halfway through.
Yeah.
And so I had already formed this relationship with her sisters where I did not like them. I didn't like who they were. And then it's almost like a 180 on them to develop them into the characters you want them to be, And so moving forward, it's like, I don't know. I see Nesta as being able to do some more things because she actually came looking for her sister through the wall and everything.
Yeah.
But to me, that's where it was a flaw because you couldn't chop wood, but you could do this.
It really did say a lot about her, didn't it? Like she's not incapable. She's just lazy or stubborn or entitled.
all of it.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden you're not.
And then she was like, Feyre was like, made a point to say to Nesta, well, you spent all of the coins I gave you. And Nesta's like, because I knew you would always get more.
Okay, so that thing too. So it's almost like you just kind of have to forget about the beginning.
Yeah.
To jump in.
Yeah. Okay, so like once we're in, I mean, the whole, the trials, that was cool. There was some cheating going on. I was totally fine. But you're right. Like with having, I'm sorry, to pit women against women against women.
Let's do it.
But having Violet as a character and having Rebecca as a world builder, you just really, personally, I need to just stuff that away.
Yeah.
Because if I'm comparing these two female characters, if I'm comparing the like worlds, just, I mean, the descriptions, how everything comes together, I really need to stop is what I think I need to do.
You know, and you had said something about even Chelsea where it's like, maybe it's more of a reflection on myself.
Yes.
Maybe it's just like what we like and what we don't like.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
You know, if you're going to be a heroine, my heroine is Vi.
Bad Ass Book Club.
Yeah.
Badass Violet.
Yeah, Badass Violet. Not you, Feyre. I mean, okay, two other gripes, can I?
Please.
And then you can shut me down.
Because I have some things I liked.
Okay. I mean, me too.
Okay.
But two more.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for it?
Mm-hmm.
The masks.
Yeah.
Okay. Like really? Like your power and like you have to keep it on the whole time. Like here we have, because I can't help but comparing. Here we have Rebecca where it's like you can't touch each other because he can suck the living life out of you.
Literally.
Versus like, and that's how you build the tension, or you hate each other and that's how you build the tension versus like you're building the tension because he's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like
50 Shades of Grey vibes.
The cheeks up.
Just, yeah. It's like he's really horrible and ugly under that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of sexy people wearing masks. They were still very sexy with that mask.
Maybe sexier.
Maybe.
Imagine if he's free of the mask and all of a sudden Feyre's just like, oh.
Okay. But they built that part up. Okay. So that was my other one. And then my last one.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
I think so.
Are you 100% sure?
Yes.
Like for real?
I don't know. Now you're scaring me.
You be scared.
Okay, I'm scared.
Are you scared?
Yeah, now I'm ready.
Okay. A little bit of the predictability with Rhysand and like you're going to go live with him for a week out of every month.
Yeah, that's convenient.
Like, okay.
I think I found a lot of that with the writing. Like I did kind of just, I don't know. I don't want to say it's bad writing because obviously she's built something here and people are loving it and there's so much more to come.
Yeah.
But just for storytelling purposes, like the whole curse and how Feyre was a human who hated fairies, who did end up killing the wolf who was sent there to be killed by someone who hated fairies. Like the whole thing, I really wasn't just blown away. I mean, cool story, bro. But like I wasn't totally just blown away, which like maybe we don't need to be blown away by every book we read.
You honestly just gave me another gripe.
Oh, no.
You didn't know when sexy time was happening. And maybe that's just my own pent up like moment. But there were moments where like she dropped her cookie and I was like, does that? And then they're happy and they go like, or she kisses him and then it's like end scene. It's like, is it end scene because it's nookie time or is it the end?
It wasn't super clear. It wasn't really all that spicy,
no.
Which I mean, that's fine. But I will say, moving into things that we do like, if it takes this loophole in her promise or agreement with Rhysand that we get her over to the Night Court, then so be it.
So be it.
Because I really don't know any spoilers for the rest of the story, but I know from enough book talk that like I'm pretty sure they become some kind of a thing.
So okay, so I don't want too much of a spoiler.
No, and I don't know. I don't know how it happens or what the extent of it is.
But it goes back to, is it more a reflection of myself? Am I a smutty girl?
I think we know the
answer.
Are we
kind of am I a smutty girl, you guys? Like, give it to me.
In Casey's words, is this not enough spice for you?
I did tell Ashley that she looked over at me and said that when I was kind of like, what just happened? Was that it? So anyways, if you like PG rated books, I would say
13. It's a PG-13,
okay,
isn't it?
Well, the last few. Yeah, okay, PG-13.
Overall.
Yeah, this is a PG-13.
Even if it's just for gore, that poor Claire better.
This could be on regular television, not at late night.
These days.
Yeah, these days, for sure. All right.
Yeah, but no, the gore, I think, when Claire Better gets tortured instead of Feyre.
Okay. And
So
how
for
that's
gore
painted.
purposes,
Okay, yeah.
I think we're at 13.
I think we're at 13. Okay, so now let's talk about like favorite things.
Okay. What I did like about
I'm so
A
sorry.
Court of Thorns and Roses was probably like the last couple hours where we meet
Rhysand?
We re-meet Rhysand. Yes.
Yeah.
Because remember, he saves her from the fairies at the solstice or whatever.
Sexy party.
The right thing.
Okay, that was kind of sexy.
Yeah, that was cool. So definitely there are some elements. Okay. Yes. Here's a point. There was a lot of good. I just think there was... Yes. There was a lot of good in the book, but I think there was too much that we didn't need, personally. There was too much that I didn't need.
The perfect synopsis of the first of the series in ACOTAR. I think that's great. It's a good story. It finishes strong. It's wonderful fairy fantasy, but there's way too much that you don't need, where it almost spoils it if the ending weren't as good as it was.
Yeah, and I think when you mentioned redundancy, you hit the nail on the head. We didn't really need to hear Feyre repeat those same thoughts and feelings about herself.
Yes.
And we also didn't really need Tamlin and Lucien to be repetitively so elusive.
Yes.
We could have gotten that in like half of the amounts of situations that those things kept coming up. Because when new ideas were introduced, new characters were introduced. What's her name? Amarantha?
Yeah, the badass witch
situation.
I mean, she's not a witch, but
she was giving witch. She was giving Queen of Hearts, honestly.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think that was really dope too. The the eye.
Oh yeah.
So like when they get into the actual story of the war and like why humans, should have just jumped on in. Let's go.
The celebrations were cool. The body of water that they went to that was like Starlight or whatever. Like those situations when we're exploring Spring Court. I liked all of that. I think there was a lot of like inner monologue that I didn't need.
Yeah. Like introduce Alice. Alice is cool. Alice is fine, but not so much Alice. Just enough so that when you see her again, you have that, oh, that's Alice, but this is actually who Alice is because the veil has been lifted.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that was cool. Back to Under the Mountain, the whole situation, the way that it came to a conclusion when Feyre dies and she's resurrected as High Fae and she does the trials. I kind of liked that they did cheat in the trials because it really wouldn't have been believable for her to miraculously have just overcome all these things.
And technically that wasn't cheating.
I mean,
per se.
they're in the fairyland under the mountain. There's no such thing as cheating.
Yeah, they were threatened, but
Amarantha never said you couldn't get tattooed by an eye who could share feelings and give you answers.
Okay, what do you think about that?
I thought it was cool.
Cool enough, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think about Lucien?
Getting matching tattoos? What?
Oh, okay.
Lucien, my favorite.
I liked him.
He's my Liam.
He's like
the Liam.
Oh no! Don't say that. What if we lose him?
Because so there's a reason why he doesn't like Feyre, but he's also kind of like a better sort of elusiveness. He's sexy. He's described as being sexy. He's lost this eye. You're not sure of the truth behind it. But his elusiveness is less of him playing coy and more of him distancing himself, which I like more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I thought he was like, of all the characters, and especially he's not the main character, but he's one of the main characters. I thought his development was like the best. His backstory, his attitude, his personality really shines through.
His interaction with Feyre.
Yeah, I really liked him a lot.
Honestly, I thought it was going to be between him and Tamlin.
Yeah, when there's another male in the scenario to begin with, you're like, oh, what's going on here? Are we doing a trip to the aliens? Are we... No,
okay.
And then there's mating bonds. Like I was getting a little
right.
of
who's
a flashback
who's
there.
Going to?
Yeah. So there was that. And speaking of who's going to, Rhysand comes in and
he's kind of sexy.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
He's the bad boy.
Yeah, he is the bad boy. I liked how there are a lot of things that, as the reader, you're sort of led to believe that he's really not a good guy.
Yeah.
If you're in Feyre's shoes.
Feyre.
You did it to me.
I did it to you.
But if you're in her shoes, but then as the reader, I think you kind of, you're getting led in the direction that he is doing what he needs to do to get through this. And then we do find out.
He's a little bit, you know what? I think he's less of a bad boy, more of a trickster in a way.
Yeah. And I mean, he does do some really ghastly things. The Night Court was, for his reason. And look, it turned out the way it was supposed to, I guess. But, he did do some pretty yucky stuff, like dropping that head off in Spring Court.
But I don't know if you caught this. It seemed like he didn't really like doing those things.
No, but
like
he
was
did
straight
do
up
them.
Forced because it kind of almost seems like they were all waiting. And that's where, Feyre becomes a little bit more badass. Is she unwittingly is this character that they've been waiting for.
And actually, when you said that just now, it kind of gave me an idea that all of those other High Fae of all the other courts were tricked by Amarantha.
Yes.
She wooed them and then she took their power. And she was obviously the bad guy in the story. However, Rhysand was even smarter than she was and even trickier than she was. So really, he's like the smart guy, the number one guy in the group.
Are you as excited as I am for those to see the realization of those powers?
Yeah, that'll be great.
I hope it doesn't disappoint. I mean, you guys in the Akatar world already know if it does or doesn't, but she sets you up for like, all right, no, this is just a taste of the fairy world.
And I think that this could be intentional, but what I'm getting is already I'm starting to be like, oh, there's another cool guy on the scene. I'm over Tamlin. So is Feyre going to get over Tamlin? I mean, they're loves.
You're over Tamlin?
I mean, now that Rhys
His mask
is on
has
the
been
scene,
removed. He's very sexy.
I don't know. Maybe I needed the mask. I'm interested to see what goes on with their relationship.
Do you think their love is going to be boring? Do you think Sarah J. Maas has the ability that Rebecca Yarros had in reinventing the passion? That's
Tamlin?
That's the thing, right? I think that their passion wasn't already magnificent.
I just feel like, okay, Lucien, however you say it, and Rhys and Tamlin all have so much years, centuries, at least, decades, at least of baggage.
Right.
But like Tamlin seems like the one who doesn't handle it as well. Like,
okay, maybe we're going to find out more about Tamlin.
That's true.
Because his daddy was a bad boy.
Well, so is Lucian's.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, there are some, I don't know, themes that are similar or parallel. Did you catch that?
With what?
Empyrean?
Oh, like what?
Okay, well, first of all, like the tension and the love and stuff.
Sure, yes.
Okay, and then these ancillary characters. The whole like humans and the division of like war and like,
you're right. Yes.
Yes, that point that you were just talking about with like the love, the thematic love, right? Like, that's very similar in a way.
Yeah. No, I could see that. And also too, like this is just a side thing I just thought about when I was talking about, is it Lucien or Lucian?
I think it's a little bit both.
Okay, today it's Lucien, or this time. His dad was the first one to give Feyre some sparkle juice to bring her back to life. I'm not saying he's a good guy, and obviously his brothers are yucky, but it did, now that you're bringing up parallels, remind me of like that older generation in Empyrean. We know so little in the beginning, especially about them, and they're doing crazy stuff. Yeah. We don't know why. It seems bad.
The head of the court.
Yeah. So, there could be some motivations just with everybody's actions that we don't know about yet. And maybe not everybody is as bad as they maybe. I just feel like Tamlin's kind of boring.
Okay. However, yes, he's boring. And I think, for you and I, here's the reality. He's not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's just say that, in Empyrean, there are more characters who are our cup of tea.
I guess that's what it is.
when we were talking at the beginning of Violet versus Feyre, Feyre is weaker than Violet.
True.
So Tamlin kind of tracks to be
I guess
her
that's
guy.
true. And she's come a long way from hating the Fae population to now being a High Fae herself. Like, I feel like that might change some things.
Another parallel. She's learning that she really didn't understand and didn't have the real truth of what was going on with the wars and politics and stuff.
Okay, so what we're trying to say is not only are they the same book, but one is much better than the other.
I know what you mean, Ashley.
Ooh, it's giving the ring.
Oh my gosh, and the hand.
Sorry if you're not watching. Katie's got her dragon mug who happens to have one eye and is really reminiscent of the ring that Amarantha has with that guy's eye.
Growing up, can I tell you a funny story real quick?
Please.
Everybody listen to this story. You have to. Well, no, I guess you can fast forward, but you might like it. Imagine like 4th grade, 5th grade Katie, right? Okay.
If she was anything like 4th or 5th grade Ashley, which I do know because I was there, we were chubby.
Were you chubby yet? Cheeks.
Were you chubby yet?
Of course I was.
Okay.
Yeah, there was like a competition between my dad and I to like who can finish the steak first.
Okay, cool. I was eating fast food 3 times a day. Thanks, Graham.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to Katie. Somewhat of a bookworm at that time too.
Totes.
I wanted to be able to read at higher levels than I probably was capable of.
I'm sure you were.
There was this epic garage sale. There's always an epic garage sale, right? And at this epic garage sale for school, somebody had put this amazing elf fantasy book. Okay.
Go on.
There were elves, there were fairies. It was like definitely a part. I need to find this. I have to find it somewhere. And my mom was just like, yeah, of course, you can read this book.
Books are good.
Books are great. Some of the words were above my pay grade, obviously, as a 4th, 5th grader. However, it was really cool. Like, it got me into that fantasy world. It was elves, but there were fairies involved too. And it also got pretty sexy.
I was going to say, was it spicy?
It was so spicy.
Especially for your 9 to 10-year-old eyes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And I remember like reading it and going like, not only will I never, ever say a bad thing about fantasy because I am so in love with it now.
Okay.
But I also hope that my parents never find this book and actually read it.
You know what? You telling that story made me have a flashback. I've tried to read in my younger years.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings. Maybe I should revisit.
I don't think Lord of the Rings is that sexy.
No.
But
it's good storytelling, I think.
It's amazing.
Okay, so that might be my step before Twilight.
I just love how you introduced me to Empyrean, and now you are becoming a fantasy girl.
Okay,
FanCon. Fairies and elves are hot. Fairies and elves are hot.
Wait, is FanCon fantasy or just because they're fans?
Fans. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty confident.
Okay, cool.
Pretty confident about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like everything, which is really cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so predictions.
All right. Back to the fairy world. Okay, predictions. We're going to learn, obviously, more about the other courts. I don't think she's going to be able to stay homebound with Tamlin.
Well, it's in the agreement is that she's supposed to leave once a week. So
right, but I mean like heart-wise.
Oh, sure. Well,
sex-wise.
How could you?
I mean, spice-wise.
Yeah. I feel like Rhys knows more than we do.
Yeah.
I feel like he's got some, especially now that they all have their power back, even Tamlin probably will be surprising us with some sort of abilities. Like
he might become spicier.
Yeah. And Rhys is, I guess, another parallel, like with the dragons and the signets, but Rhys can grab and claw at your mind. Like maybe he can, maybe he knows things.
She'll never be able to trust him because of that.
Interesting.
But even though she can feel it, well, she's fairy now too.
Ooh, that's true.
What are her powers going to be?
I don't know, but probably good ones because she's got a little piece of all those High Lords.
Okay, so this is really interesting. They're immortal, but they're not, right? They can still die.
Yeah, so it's giving vampire because they won't just die of natural causes and they age a lot slower, but you can stab them with that ash and
apparently,
allegedly, they're gone.
Yeah, and I think something's going to come around with the family, obviously. I hope Dad croaks it because he's annoying.
Oh, if we never see that family again, I'll be fine.
I'm pretty confident we will, though, but I think it might give Nesta an opportunity to be cool. Do you think Lucian and Nesta might have a thing?
Ooh, maybe. I guess he did once have a mortal love who was
Exactly.
killed.
That's
I
what I
was
was
gonna say
thinking.
he's giving oh my gosh, why can't I remember in Empyrean? What's the other, like the sidekick? Oh my gosh.
Ugh.
What's his name?
Who are you talking about?
Violet's like best friend, boy. Okay, whatever. I was always thinking that his fluid was a little or his sexuality was a little fluid. I felt like Lucian could like go both ways.
Yeah, and they're fairies.
Yeah, so maybe they all do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll find out for sure.
Oh my gosh, why can't I forget Violet's buddy's name? Whatever.
The
Now
guy
I'm
we
losing
didn't
it.
like?
No, the one we do like.
Dane?
No, the one who's always like, take me with you. I need to be there so nothing bad happens.
Well, I thought Liam died.
No, the other guy. What is his name? Not Sawyer. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm obviously having
You know what though? Because
memory
you blinked,
loss.
I blinked.
Sorry, let's move on.
Well, yeah, we're moving
This
on.
can't
Well,
be fun.
I mean, that's the other thing too, though, that I do love about fantasy, and perhaps why it took so long to get into it. You have to really build these worlds, right? For them to be believable and for you to understand the rules of the games, right?
Yep.
So, being in this fantasy now, I'm pretty sure part of the other worlds we've been in are gonna fade a little bit until we revisit them. So we're fully invested. Those were some pretty good predictions. Let's just jump into it. Are we continuing on?
Well, I've already purchased part 1 of 2 of the graphic audio of A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah, I'm holding it up. I printed out a picture of the box set so we would know the order. A Court of Mist and Fury. Okay, so last prediction. What do you think that means?
I mean, I guess we're going to Night Court, but I don't know. I don't know. I
Right?
really
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
a couple because there are more courts than there are books.
And there's probably going to be, maybe this is where the fury comes in, some political unrest because somebody who had a lot of power just got killed.
Yes.
And now we've got people who've been betrayed before who all
Yep.
have different motives, who may
Yep.
have a different ideas of new structures.
Yep.
So-
Or another prediction. She starts diddling other dudes and Tamlin's not happy.
I think all things can be true.
All things lead to
Spice?
spice.
Is that the word you were going to use?
Yep. Yes, 100%.
Okay, so that's exciting.
Do you recommend it? Do you think it's worth it?
I don't think I
At the
can.
end of the first one.
I don't know if I can say so because
Yet.
the next one needs to really redeem me.
Okay, sounds good. I'm right there with you.
I'm hopeful to have an answer to that the next time we meet if
Yep.
we finish this whole book in the next section.
And I'm pretty confident I'm going to continue on with the graphic audio because it's pretty baller.
Well, I'm going to jump in because, like I said, I wasn't super crazy about that narrator. I want to give this one like my all. So if I'm not going to be reading by text, I think I need the graphic audio.
Okay.
And then again, if I don't care for that and we move on, I might just pick up a book.
And Ashley,
Go
there's
figure.
another reason, and Baddies, there's another reason why I'm going to do the audiobook. Do you want to know why?
I know. Tell them.
I'm going back to the mountains. I can't help it.
Under the mountain?
Under the mountain. Well, I don't know, actually.
Hope not.
I'm in between the mountains.
Oh, through the mountain.
Through the mountains. I'm
Okay.
going through mountains. It's the family. It's the family trip.
It's
and
that time of the year.
It's that time of the year. Some of you guys are probably feeling that too. This will be a great book. I will say this. I find that a lot of fantasy, Lord of the Rings, for example, take place in very nature-esque, very
Yes.
bountiful areas. We come from more of a desert climate, I'll just say. So I love actually being physically present. I mean, you've lived in the mountains quite a bit, but
Even that mountain was deserty.
yeah,
But yeah.
you know what I mean? It's fun.
So to experience, to take in, to consume the
Yes.
story while you're in the wilderness should be a nice touch.
It's really fun. It's really, really cool. It almost makes me wonder if future books can also be like VR experiences.
Ooh.
Right?
Shh. Don't give away your
Oh,
ideas.
no. Oh,
It's
no.
okay. I'm going to give mine away. We write a fantasy that takes place in the desert.
Oh, but make it so awesome.
Yeah, not dry at all.
Not dry at all. Just hot.
Yeah. So you're
Sounds
going
like a smut book.
I guess it will be if you're writing it.
I don't know what this means, and y'all are shaking your heads because you know what it means. But anywho, yeah, we're jumping in a mist.
Okay, so that's exciting. We'll be ready to talk about that next time we meet. Will you be reading anything else? Will you be listening to anything else?
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to talk about?
There's so much, but I'm going to do it real quick. Surprise read! Okay, so obviously, like I told you, there were many hours on this road trip, and I wanted to introduce Casey to Frida McFadden.
Amazing.
And because I had already purchased The Tenant, I wanted something that sounded like it could be pretty cool.
Okay.
And that might interest her. Another thriller. Frida McFadden's book, Never Lie. We listened to it on tape.
How was it?
We had 30 minutes left, and we listened to it this morning because it was classic Frida.
Amazing.
Meaning the ending's the best. Like it was a book on tape also. The voices were good enough. It was a female narrator, and I thought she switched it up pretty good. It was interesting because I thought the beginning was good enough having read a Frida before. I'm also learning Casey has like different standards for literature, especially like I think, a thriller murder mystery kind of.
Sure. And we've been reading a lot. So we're giving a lot of benefits of the doubt maybe when we start.
But it was good enough where she stayed awake for it.
Okay.
First of all, I know when. And we had fun listening to it together.
Aww.
So Frida McFadden can be a really good book and book on tape. If you guys are road tripping, it's definitely not family friendly.
Sure.
It's
most
for
Frida probably won't be.
Older audience for sure. But Never Lie is the summary, or I should say kind of a teaser for it would be that there's this man and wife. They're going in through the snow to check out this mansion because they might want to live there.
Oh, spooky.
They get stuck in the snow overnight. Obviously, the realtor can't meet them. And it is kind of spooky. And as they're going through the house, the wife finds this hideaway room where all of this psychiatrist who used to live there tapes of her patients are hidden. And then in Frida fashion, there are lots of switching and going back between characters where you are also getting the perspective of the psychiatrist. Yeah, the psychiatrist who had lived in that home previously.
Ooh.
But everything isn't really what it seems.
It never is.
It never is. So I think part of it too is like the beginning of the story might have been a little slow for Casey, or I really think that she thought it was predictable. Like she thought that the wife was a little annoying, and like, why is she doing this stuff? And in my head, I'm like, something's happening. Who is who on the tape? Like, she's not who she's meant to be. And then the last third of it, it's like, okay, here we go. And like all these truths come out, and there's, a guy who's dead and buried in there. And, for this, because it was a surprise read, I'm not going to tell you how it all ends up, just that it was another good Frida.
Oh, I love to hear it. I've never heard of this book. It sounds amazing.
It's pretty fun. Yeah. I don't think it's as good as Ward D. For me, it wasn't as intriguing. I'd be curious to look and see like the chronology.
Okay.
Yeah, of which was written first.
Oh, okay.
And she definitely has a style. Like when you just read one Frida, you're like, great, I like it. How unique. And then you read another and you're like, okay, she has a formula.
Okay, so in the past, I have gone on a Frida binge, and I've gotten to like maybe 3 or 4 books.
Yeah.
And in those pages, you're like, I'm never reading anything but this.
Right.
But by the time you get to like book 3 or 4, you're like, oh, okay, it's a formula for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe I need to take a step back before I burn out.
Yeah. And so I'm also glad that I did that, because she's one that I think every few months I'll just pick from.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun, but I don't think that she's someone that I would just go bup and go all through.
Yeah.
There were some classic things though that I do really like that she does, where it's almost like you think that she's leading you in a direction, and then she shuts that door.
Love that.
And then goes the other direction.
Love that.
So you almost feel successful in like a prediction or solving something, and she's like, no, I did that just to like confuse you a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it was super cool. I liked it. And Casey did too.
Amazing.
I know.
The Casey seal of approval.
I know. And now back to FanCon.
There's more books, guys.
You guys, I've been sucked into the world of fantasy and I am not mad about it. And if you are, then just, listen to other podcasts until we get out of it.
Yeah, or stay tuned to hear about my next shocking read.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. Mr. Matthew Wolf.
Whoa, is that a dragon?
This is amazing. Yes. Okay, so I'm walking through FanCon and all of a sudden I see this magnificent backdrop. And it's the artwork from his latest book and a couple other books. And I'm first of all, there's artwork everywhere at FanCon. It's worth the price of admission just to see the artwork because it's most, fantasy or things that are familiar to you, maybe not, but just that world comes to life.
I love that.
It's overstimulating and exhausting.
Oh.
In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was told that the artwork is from the guy who does like Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
Which makes sense.
Okay.
It's highly detailed, great contrast. Matthew Wolf is kind of a cutie too.
Oh.
I got my picture with him.
Is this the autographed book?
This is one of the autographed books, yeah. He is an excellent writer. This is the first of his Ronin series.
Ooh.
And I had to ask him, and look at how beautiful this book is. I'm holding it up. If you can't see it, Ashley, can you describe it?
Well, there's a striking man, and he means business. But yeah, the colors, I've never seen a book like this. I'll just say it. There's a picture imprinted on the edges of the pages. There's a dragon. There's a sword that's glowing. The clouds. Look at it's beautiful.
It's really beautiful. And honestly, great job because it attracted me so much to it.
Are there pictures throughout?
There are not pictures.
Okay.
Well, there are like some maps.
Oh, okay.
A couple, like little, but it's really left to your imagination, which is cool.
Ooh.
Just kind of like the Empyrean series.
Yeah.
There are maps, like I said, to give you that feel, that vibe. To Katie. Oh, Katie. To a new world, magic awaits. How dope is that?
I like it.
Yeah. And he wasn't wrong. So I had to ask him because, I think he's a youngish guy, maybe our age or a little bit younger.
Okay, super young.
But I asked him because this is... To have a piece of work like this is magnificent. You guys can't see this, but this is if you're watching, you can. This is a thick book, very thick. Okay. Like over 400 pages, maybe 4.5. 100. Here he is. Yeah, here he is. And I'll post the picture I snagged with him too.
Ooh.
But as I was saying, the dopest thing is I said, when did you start this? Because this is part of a saga.
Oh.
Okay. So this is one of quite a few books. And he actually said the concept came to him when he was 18.
Wow.
And I think it took a few years to write it, obviously, but I had to stop myself and go, two things. I was a little hesitant because I was like, okay, you're early 20s, 18. How good could this first book be? Maybe this is just the beginning of an adventure.
Sure.
In more sense than the obvious, And also, if it is really that good, I need to remember not to underestimate artists who are younger.
True.
Yeah. And even thinking of when I was making music, the stuff I made when I was 18, I was an adult and you take more chances almost and you're excited and into it. And he has to have some sort of history in the world of magic or growing up with fantasy. What I will say is I did start it on tape.
Ooh.
I'm going to go back and forth between them. I don't want to say too much because this will be my next share.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'll get through it or not. I probably will, to be honest, by the time that we get to meet next. But in all sense of the term, it is epic.
Is it a saga that is meant to be read chronologically?
Yes.
Okay.
And it is epic.
Okay.
It is he gives off this very Tolkien vibe. So you're speaking of Lord of the Rings. So much of this book is the building of these characters. So you have to embrace it for what it is. Okay? So it's not like the Empyrean where it is a quick read because it is so well written and it's easy to get into. This is extremely well written. The descriptors, it's just, that he is creating this world and setting it up for a very long time.
I see.
And so the chapters go between different characters and then blend together in different times of life. And I actually can't stop.
Awesome.
I can't stop reading it. It's not one of our spicy books. It is a full-out adventure, epic saga adventure.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah. If you are a fantasy lover and you haven't heard of Matt Wolf, I mean, some of you guys are probably like, oh, duh, like, where have you been living? Obviously in the world of smut and fun and easy. But if you haven't, definitely check him out. And I can't wait to tell you more about it.
Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Exciting.
Yeah, it is.
I feel your excitement and it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's leveled. It's layered. And it's not
Matt
disappointing.
Wolf.
Yeah. But be ready for like a Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
And maybe you like that. Maybe you're like, oh my God, someone said I'm like Lord of the Rings. I'm sure a lot of people have, to be honest.
Okay.
Okay. And then I got a freebie, which was super cool. It's not technically a freebie. This was like it's a short story, which is kind of cool. Haven't read it yet. Visions of a Hidden. So that's cool. It's a Ronin Saga short story. Looking forward to that one. And there's a young elf boy involved.
Okay.
You know, I like my elves. Okay. And then walking around, because obviously, here's the cool thing. I was with people who knew me, who got me. They were like, she's going to disappear in the world of books. And I was texting you because I had to. There were, I'll be honest, there were some authors where I was like, okay, you're self-publishing. You're not my bag. Like, I'm not feeling you. Like, good for you. Congratulations. I'm not going to knock anybody on their dream. But there was this guy and he tried to what was it? He tried to sell me on his story. And he had like this murder story or whatever. And I was like, murder? Okay, my friend likes murder. Fantasy murder. And I said, and he starts to describe it. And I was like, well, do you have one? And I was trying to ask him for a different. And he was so set on selling the book he wanted me to like.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I'm gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, good for you. I'm glad you wrote it. But I'm trying to tell you as a reader, the book you're selling me on isn't what I want to read.
Yeah.
You know? But then I found this chick, LB Carter.
She sounds cool already.
She sounds super cool. I'm probably also going to make this like a personal read.
Yeah.
I got a lot going on. LB Carter, she's dope. I'm also going to share the picture that I took with her because her book is fun. So Curiosity Calls. Here's her little card. I'm holding it up. Are you ready for it?
I'm so ready.
Okay. It is so fun. Don't sell your soul to the devil. Take out a loan instead. That's her whole concept.
Yeah.
So she also has a series. I read the first chapter so I could tell you enough of if I was going to pursue this.
Okay.
It's fun. It's more of like that fantasy world where you feel personal with the character and it seems like a quick read. The first chapter, I read it like in 5 minutes. I highly suggest it. Here's a little kind of, it's not a foreword, but it's about the book.
Okay.
Don't sell your soul to the devil, loan it instead. Your body will be in good hands while you're gone. Darcy Rose is Satan's best substitute soul. Well, she was. Something is glitched in Hell's Souls on Loan exchange program, and Darcy is sent Earthside without knowing who she's possessing or why she's body hopping. When she comes face to face with the cheating ex-fiancé who caused her death, Darcy is in danger of breaking Lucifer's only 2 rules, exposing the reality of the afterlife to the living. What used to be a vacation from purgatory has become hell on earth. Unless Darcy can return to hell without drawing attention, Lucy may just show up and send her back himself to the deepest, torturous bowels for an eternity of punishment.
Yes.
So you can tell, different vibe, it's fun.
Yeah, when you first told me about this one via text when she was filling me in on FanCon, it struck my fancy. It sounds fun.
Yeah, I'm going to let you borrow it when I'm done. The first chapter, she's in like this balding fat man who's a business guy's body.
Ooh.
And there's humor. It's very light. So light, easy, fun, and and an interesting concept.
Okay.
Yeah, so LB Carter, way to go, girl.
Yeah, creative. I haven't heard of anything like that. I like that.
And apparently she thanks a couple guys who were at a bar talking about it and joking about it.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of those like fun happenstance sort of situations.
That she just went with it.
Yeah, she's a good writer though. I like it. All right, that's what's going on with me. Ashley?
Okay, so I did something crazy, you guys, and earlier today, I went to the library.
What?
I took my kids to the library because I realized I'm just like sunken into the courts. I realized I needed another book to read. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to go to Target. That's a whole other story. I went to the library. I picked 3 books as quick as I could without really giving much thought because my kids were running wild in the not so kid-friendly section.
Got it.
But I looked over them all. I had another like kind of a Frida-esque. It's a different author, but you know, that style that I was kind of, it was a toss-up. But I'm going with Hungry Ghosts by Kevin Jared Hosein. Forgive me,
Wait a second. Is that why when you got here you were singing Hungry Eyes?
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's been stuck in my head, you guys.
Hungry Ghosts.
Hungry Eyes. Oh, this is funny.
So, you know, I did a quick little just internet search of each of the books I grabbed. And this one happens to be 2024's Walter Scott Award winner for historical fiction.
1930s?
40s?
Yes, Ashley. You say you don't like it, but
yeah, but it's actually it's different than anything I've ever read. It actually takes place in Trinidad in the 1940s, nearing the end of American occupation and British colonialism. It takes place on a farm, and there's still murder mystery vibes going on. So it's historical fiction, and someone disappears.
Okay. So Hungry Ghosts does not mean like a spooky, like fantasy, spiritual ghost story.
No, but I think it's still like there might be
haunting?
Some sort of cultural like vibe with Trinidad and ghostiness. I mean, I don't know. We will find out. But there's a farmer. Like it's about, from what I've read so far, which is just the front of the back of the cover and the back of the book. But there's some like class division, and a wealthy farmer disappears, and the sort of like farmhand, lower societal class comes to help out, and we find out everything is probably not as it seems, and whatever the case is, that's all I know for now. But it's award-winning in historical fiction, so how could I say no? I don't know.
Award-winning though. Very few award winners, I think, are bad.
I haven't
like the writing has to be good enough.
I haven't heard of the Walter Scott Award for historical fiction, but I don't, keep up on that stuff.
Just curious. Do you read the first page?
No. I didn't in this case. I just read. I read just the back of
leaflet? Or not leaflet,
of
whatever
the cover,
it's called.
whatever. Yeah, and the back. And I did read like a little gist online.
Okay, so I don't know if I've told you this, but whenever I'm going to get a book, if it's in my hands, I read the first page to know if I'm going to like it.
Yeah, I kind of got the vibe from the inside of the cover, just like the style.
Yeah.
Because I did do that too. There was another book I picked by Colleen Hoover that I'd never heard of called Slammed, and she's an author that I do like.
My friend just posted it.
Oh,
actually.
Slammed?
No,
specifically? Oh, okay.
I don't remember the title, but her name is sticking out to me.
She's a very popular writer. She wrote This Ends With Us, which was a movie that had a lot of controversy. And she's written Verity, which I'm sad I already read because I would have loved to have it as a shared read before. It's a really good book. She's free to level, but she also has a lot of books. So for me, she does what I like in some books, and then a lot of it is just like love stories, which is not totally my vibe. But
is it hard coming off of Brett? I just gotta know.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about him.
Okay, I tried to find one of his for books on tape to listen to, and after knowing American Psycho, and after everything you shared about the shards, he also kind of has a formula and a style.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I'm not in a big rush to like go and pick him up. But maybe in a year or two, I'll read like American Psycho or one of his other ones. Less Than Zero, I guess, is pretty good. And
that was one of the ones I was looking at. But because even though I didn't read the shards, after you telling me about it, I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah. So
okay, cool.
I do miss you, Brett. I think about you all the time, and I will someday read more of your works. But for now, I'm taking it back to historical fiction,
I love it.
but in a different country, which is new. I mean, it's not anywhere, in Ireland or in the UK, as far as I know.
Waiting for it when you said it's actually from, and I was like,
and it takes place in a quaint little shop that we haven't already taken place in, and there's people in their 70s, and someone is murdered,
and the tunes are Celtic,
and it's super long, and it's taking place from multiple points of views. No, but I'm thinking,
I think
I'm
we should
excited.
write that one.
It seems like a fairly easy read from what I have looked at, so I'm not going to make any promises on finishing.
It's a hardcover, Ashley.
It is a hardcover because it came from the library, and most of the books there are hardcovers. So there's that, and that's
Can't wait
on that.
Yeah, and we'll see how far you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no pressure, everybody.
Probably at least half, because quite frankly, I miss the feel of a book.
Yeah. So one more time, Hungry Ghost by?
I'm sorry, Kevin, Jared, Hosein or Hosein. I'm not sure.
Very cool. And then I'm going to do Matthew Wolfe, The Knife's Edge. The Knife's Edge, which is the first in his Ronin saga, which is impressive. And I'm going to do One Lone Soul, the first, because why not? Let's have some fun, LB Carter.
Yeah.
And we're both going to be listening to
A Court of Mist and Fury.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot. You guys don't have to read quite as much. Just hit us when you want to. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. And I mean, who doesn't love to hear us just give our opinions?
Yeah, I love it.
I know I do.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for joining us on this ride.
Yeah, so we will see you next time, and we will either be thanking Sarah J. Maas?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Sounds great.
Sarah, we will either be thanking you, or we will be
writing
probably
Rebecca
still
Yaros.
thanking you. I know. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it.
Bye, guys.
I think we're done. Are we done?
We're done.
Until the next time in 2 weeks. All right, everybody?
Yes.
Bad biddies?
Yes, it's going to be great.
We love you.
Bye.